Congratulations. Well done to City United 58 Football Club under 20s. 1-0 victory over Sydney Olympic. First grade coming up soon.
7, Luke Juvila, and 43, Michael Pratejina. And Sydney Olympic, they make 2 changes with Josh Hong and Samuel Bosniak coming into the starters as well. We'll take kickoff and then we'll get to their lineup. So underway in this clash between Sydney United 58 and Sydney Olympic. So the Olympic team, Jack Gibson, their goalkeeper, 2, James Donachie, 9, Cyrus Demi, 10, Jack Armson, 11, Adam Parkhouse, 12, Zach Zoricic, 14, Seth Clark, 15, Luca Pecora, 17, Josh Hong, 19, Ryan Fuchs, and 28, Samuel Bosniak. So crucially, no Ziggy Gordon and no Teng Kuol today for Sydney Olympic. 2 massive outs, a couple of their key players. So as the ball bounces into midfield, United trying to establish possession in the game. Olympics' recent record against Sydney United 58 is an enviable one. They haven't actually lost a league game to them since the abandoned 2021 season, so that's 7 league games in a row undefeated. But they did, of course, lose on penalty kicks to Sydney United 58 right here after a marathon penalty shootout in the Australia Cup qualifying rounds earlier in the campaign. So they have had one unhappy visit here to King Tom so far this season. So we see Demi breaking down the right, and his attempt at a cross is blocked away. Vlastelica regains the ball. Now De Oliveira, he's shoved over. And an early free kick and a chance for the referee to use his whistle. Sydney United retake possession and restart things quickly. Throw in coming up here. Zach Zoricic is cleared away from Demi. Donachie. And now a bustling run forward from Luca Pecora. He's held up by Tejina. Leaves the ball with Parkhouse. It's Adam Parkhouse down the right side. The goalkeeper, Vedran Janjetovic, got his right hand on the ball and that sat up teasingly inside the penalty area, but it's been cleared away. Seth Clark, he can't find a teammate with his pass. Zoricic, seconded by Bailey Rule. The referee says all chest, no handball to the Olympic shouts. Advantage given here. Ante Juric is the Sydney United 58 manager. Labado Haliti, the coach of Sydney Olympic. They're both prowling the sideline in the early exchanges of this one. Play slows down just a bit, waiting for Bailey Rule to take this throw in. He's back and forth with Aiden Milicevic. Now a high ball, Donachie, header slides on, Zoricic, which is just in front of the line. It'll be Sydney United's possession again. Clark, dispossessed, effective midfield trap. Now out in open space, here's a chance for Mason Wells. He uses his left foot, but he wasn't able to generate enough power to really trouble Jack Gibson between the sticks. He goes down to make a save. Mason Wells, 9 league goals this season, is United's top scorer. Speaking of top scorers, is Cyrus Demi, 13 in the league for him this campaign. But he's not able to make a great deal of progress with the ball. Michael Glassick takes over. Plays it to his centre-back partner, Adrian Vlastelica. effectively wins the ball back here. It was Futes who won it initially. Now Demi, the underlapping run from Seth Clark. He lifts across to the back post. No one home. Over the head of Futes. And so recycling the ball is Parkhouse. He whips it in. Bit of a blind cross. Cleared by Vlastelica. First to the header. Courageously won was Hong. Took a bit of physical impact, but he hasn't been thrown off his stride. Pecora. Now back to Donachie. Zoricic, Olympic, happy to slow things down and enjoy possession of the ball. At the edge of the box, Parkhouse trying to slide it through for Demi, can't find him. And Tomalich will consolidate here, but he can't find De Oliveira with his pass. So straight back into the Boa Constrictors clutch go United, and Lavino Haliti applauding his team at winning the ball back immediately. Sydney Olympic in the league, 1-0 winners here last season. Roy O'Donovan scoring the only goal. It was round 18. 2023, it was a 2023 round 15. It was also a 1-0 scoreline for Olympic as the visiting team. In 2022, they netted 3 times here at King Tom. So in the league, at least, they are on a 3-game winning streak coming to this venue. 7 fixtures in the league total, undefeated between the two sides. Long ball down the left. Wells is going to make it work. Cuts it back inside. De Oliveira batted away. There were 2 in for the follow-up. It was lightning reflexes needed, though, and it deflects away. Effectively done by Gibson between the sticks. Wells in an acre of space, though. De Oliveira couldn't resist the invitation to shoot. Here's Rule. Carlos De Oliveira. Sydney United's turn to enjoy a bit of possession. Carlos De Oliveira from deep. A high, hopeful ball, dealt with by the defence initially. The follow-up is potentially on here, though, and an excellent save by Gibson. We've seen Mason Wells test him with his left foot, now he's tested him with his right. And it's behind for a corner kick. Best chance and the best save of the game so far. Here comes the corner, an out swinger. First touch for Vlasic. Really goalbound with a great deal of force. Not got into the gloves of Gibson, who's been made to work already. Not even 10 minutes tick by, and he's come up with a very important save to keep the scoreline at 0-0. Here as we wait for a free kick to be taken from the left side of midfield. Bailey Rule is going to try and make this free kick work. Runs it down into the near post and emphatically cleared away by Samuel Bosniak. Breaks down, it will run down to Gibson here to collect. Donachie. Gibson clears. Can't find Demi. Tomlich with a volley. Wells on a venturing run, but he was taking on the Olympic defence single-handedly there. Now breaking out of defence. Real energy driving forward from Zach Zoricic, but he's only able to advance to halfway before the ball is nicked off his toes. Seth Clark. So a busy first 10 minutes. United with the best chance to score so far. Levino Halidi full of gesticulations from the sideline, but his team is, well, nearly coughed up the ball. It was nearly Luke Zubala away, but United will have another chance here through Wells. Pretezina. Through the left channel they go. McGing. His cross. Not able to find a teammate. Both teams playing attacking football at the moment. The draw doesn't really suit Olympic today. They're the ones who've come here needing to win. We'll give you the context of the table at the next break in play. Bailey rule the 1-2 with De Oliveira, drives it through the box. And it really was only one option in the middle and wasn't lunging out a foot, Luke Jubila, so through the penalty area it went. At the start of play today, Sydney United were on 43 points in 6th place, but with a -1 goal difference, and Sydney Olympic in 7th on 40 points, but with plus 14. So a win today would have moved Sydney Olympic into 6th place at Sydney United's expense, and if United win, obviously, they're off to the finals and they can slam the door shut on all below them. McGee. Olympic win possession back. Nakora overhit his left-footed pass and in the direction of Parkhouse. Halidi shouting to his right-sided defender and offering a message of calm. Played into the middle. Chance for Milicevic to go. De Oliveira linking up with Rule. Carlos De Oliveira slides the through ball. Zuvela, he can't run it down. And even though he's scored a couple of very important cup goals this season, Zuvela, he's yet to trouble the scorers in the league. So we'd love to open his league account here, given that it's been a season he'll never forget for his goal scoring. Score one more today, it could be absolutely priceless. Zoricic with a long throw. Over the head of Fuchs. Clark, a bouncing ball, awkward to deal with. Tomilic came through, took possession. McGing. Now Glassick. De Oliveira. For those of you watching beyond the boundaries of Sydney, it's a mild day. Few looming clouds, but nothing too menacing, and heading for a top of 17 or 18. It's beautiful weather for football, barely a light breeze too, so on the synthetic here, it's otherwise perfect conditions. Here's Mason Wells. He uses his right foot. He guides it straight off the head of Zoricic, who was in between two attackers trying to find a way forward. Demi holding up the ball. A real tangle with Vlasic, and the referee eventually adjudicates that it is the Olympic man's free kick. Taken quickly. Here goes Fuchs. And he's offside. So quick thinking, but not quick enough to beat the assistant referee's flag over on the outer side. Milicevic, De Oliveira. Zuvila back to goal. Milicevic slides it to De Oliveira again. He was falling off balance though. Parkhouse volleys away. Demi, a lone hand up forward. Fuchs over on the left side. And Seth Clark not able to nod it back into his path. Vedran Janjetovic getting a touch. Josip Orlovic is on the bench today, but Janjetovic has held on to the number one gloves after his mid-season arrival. Here's Vlasic. Milicevic forced to play it back to Vlasilica. He's going up the middle. Bailey Rule is his target. And a one-on-one against Bosniak. It's Bosniak who helps out Zoricic, but the clearance is shallow. Milicevic takes over. Mason Wells shoots from distance. And even though it was rising, it wasn't at a velocity that was really going to trouble Gibson, as he saw it all the way and caught it first time. He's a very left-footed player, Mason Wells, and he wanted to use it on that occasion. Gibson had the angles covered. Milicevic can't slide it through. Ball breaks, it's there to be won and cleared away by Pecora. Now Armstrong with a long ball out to the right. And Vlasilica clears it from Parkhouse. Jack Armstrong would love to get a bit more involved in general play here for Sydney Olympic. Trying to keep them on the attack. Allow them to commit a few more numbers forward. Here he is on the ball now. Ball dinked to the edge of the penalty area. Clark. Hong. Now Zoricic. It's a slow and steady build-up from Olympic. Fuchs trying to change the pace of the attack. Clark and Demi. And now Fuchs. De Oliveira comes in to take possession away. Zuvila. He goes to ground. No free kick forthcoming. Bosniak. And Olympic able to regain possession. Donachie directing traffic as he sends it out to Pecora. It's running the wrong way. Bosniak with a long ball now, hoping for Demi. Demi shapes a header. Is it going to sit up for Fuchs? He's causing havoc, but he's not able to will himself onto the ball. And the combination of United defenders were able to keep him at bay. This Kiwi, who's exploded into the league with 7 goals in 7 appearances, after moving down from the Northern New South Wales NPL. He was a New Zealander in Newcastle, and now he's doing very well for Olympics cause. Here's De Oliveira, loads up across, and Zuvila scores! He made the ball his own and puts United in front with a close-range volley. It's a vital first strike for Sydney United 58. And Carlos De Oliveira saw that unfolding in front of him. He roosted the ball into the penalty area, and it was perfectly shaped to sit up for Luke Juvila, who, in addition to scoring the vital goal in the Waratah Cup final and the winning goal in the Australia Cup round of 32, now has what could prove to be a very, very important goal for Sydney United 58 and their finals hopes. So, Olympic kick-off. They've had plenty of possession, but it's United who've had the better of the chances, and now the opening goal at the 20-minute mark. And it means that there is now a 6-point gap between 6th and 7th on the table, on the live ladder. So Olympic need a goal, as far as they're concerned, ideally more than a goal. Clark. Hong. Feuds can't keep the ball. Pretensioner. Neither can he. Clark. Edge of the box. Flicked on by Armson. Cyrus Demi working through the gears. And the equaliser is denied. Close range save by Janjetovic. Feuds can't find a volley. Oh, it was a good advance from Pecora, and his shot drew the save out of Janjetovic. The right back picking his mark to get up the pitch and join the attack, which continues here, but only briefly, as it's prodded long by Seth Clark and out for a goal kick. So a goal kick to restart play then. Demi barging Vlasic late, and that's led to a free kick. Given away by Vlastelica, straight to Demi. Can Olympic execute? Feuds from the left. Defenders scrambling back. It's Feuds, and held on to by Janjetovic. Saw it all the way. Great chance for Olympic. And they nearly cashed in a gift from United there. Lavino Halidi claps his hands together on the sideline in frustration. Armson. Can they keep the momentum rolling? Zoricic lifts it across, but that's straight onto the head of Vlasic. Zoricic, Clark. Now that they're in deficit, you can see Olympic with plenty of numbers committed forward here. Are they going to be as patient as they were before the goal, or will we see them a little bit more hurried in what they do? For now, they're happy to field the ball, pass it around. Armson going direct, a little too direct. And that makes it keeper's ball for Vedran Janjetovic. The other game going on at the moment is about 10 minutes ahead of this one between Rockdale and Manly United, and that is currently scoreless. No real consequences for these two teams, but that is the other match on in NPL Men's New South Wales today. Demi sends it to Feuds on the left. Now both teams putting a toe in, trying to volley the ball away. Olympic get it back on the deck. Clark. Wall of red shirts between he and the penalty area, so he goes wide to Demi. Donachie, Parkhouse, Parkhouse, well, he was tumbling and stumbling and ultimately just coughed up the ball, and the defenders gratefully took possession. And now United with a bit of space to work with over on the right side. Milicevic and Rule. Forward they drift. Bailey Rule now in a 1-on-2. And he's worked it well with Zuvila. Not well enough. And it's a first touch for the photographer down in the corner as the ball goes out for a goal kick. Space at Armson, and he wasn't able to keep the move going as he tried to thread through Demi. Tomilic back to Rule from the right side of midfield. Pass attempted by Milicevic to find the goal scorer Zuvila, but it's cleared away from him. Hong steadies. There's it to Donachie. Seth Clark. Olympic trying to up the ball speed a bit. It's not really connecting for them at present. Milicevic wins the ball back. Protezina leaves it with Milicevic, and now De Oliveira. One assist to his name. Mason Wells from the left side. Waiting for the overlapping run of McGing, but he's going to cut it back to De Oliveira in the meantime. Tomilic. Milicevic. And Rule. Rule. De Oliveira tried to connect the 1-2, and a bit of miscommunication between keeper and defender. It's been cleared away for a throw-in rather than Gibson coming out to pick up. So with almost half an hour gone, United 1-0 up, remain on the attack. Well, it was a throw-in that was hard won and then very quickly given away. Bailey Rule's initial header. Clark. Demi. He's confronted front on by Mason Wells, and the referee has said it's a foul. United are protesting. So, as the referee decided it's a drop ball, he has. No foul. And a restart for United, and quickly nicked off the toes by Armson. Nicked off the toes of Armson. Energetic from Protezina. And now Milicevic plays it to De Oliveira. He's shut down by Bosniak, but he's played it into his own defensive penalty area where Milicevic was lurking. But out comes Gibson to dive onto the ball, diffuse any further danger. Seth Clark. Bosniak. And he's sailed that pass out over the head of Feuds. So we tick up to almost half an hour with just the one goal separating the two sides. Push from Tomilic will be sanctioned here. Free kick taken by Armson. He's thinking about moving it on as quickly as possible, and now he has to go backwards. Donachie, Parkhouse, Pecora getting forward, finds Parkhouse with the return ball. Parkhouse trying to free his feet. Hong, Donachie, Bosniak, this pass straight to Tomilic. It's back in with a header. Fuchs is going to try and make it work. Classic comes across to clear it away. Donachie, Demi. And he's left a foot in there on McGing. Cyrus Demi's protesting to the assistant referee. The central referee has taken a yellow card out of his pocket. And he is going to show it to Cyrus Demi. First booking of the game for his late run through Liam McGing. Watching it back on the stream, it was pretty late. McGing's got the trainer coming out to tend to him. So, as things stand, next week might be a bit of a moot point for Olympic, but their next fixture, if they can get back into this contest, is Apia at Belmore next Sunday. Sydney United, they end their season away at Penshurst Park against a St George City team that are already drifting in no man's land. Josh Hong. McGing up and running after a quick treatment. Ball headed away from right back by Donachie. Hong. Clark. Turns straight into Tomilic and to veer away. Zoricic. What can Olympic get going in the attacking half? And that's the exact area of the pitch where many of their attacks have been breaking down. But they're going to win possession back effectively here. Fuchs trying to roll it onto Demi, but the backtracking Glassick was able to win possession, and then Fuchs goes and concedes a foul to De Oliveira immediately after. So Janjetovic with the restart from the free kick. Zuvela wrestled to ground by Bosniak, but the referee lets it all go. Demi in his own contest against Glassick at the other end. Zuvela twists back inside. Kotezina plays the 1-2 with Milicevic. And a free kick in a potentially dangerous position, taken quickly. Zuvela, he's run into Zoricic, who was awake to the danger, and that's very well played by Zach Zoricic. And United found a way to turn a free kick in a potentially dangerous position to Sydney Olympic restart here. So a long restart. Good rise from Tomilic as he heads the ball out. Classics header. Donachie. De Oliveira. Head tennis back and forth. Protejna loses out to Demi. He had Parkhouse on the outside, but just never really balanced himself to feed the ball out. Now Protejna, he gets caught in possession. Demi, Armson, and now Feuds. He slipped at the key moment. Oh, that was big for Olympic, but Feuds, it's almost like he was planting his right foot to really drive forward and generate a bit of power, and Studs just slipped and gave way underneath him at the most inopportune time. De Oliveira. Feuds. He's got Seth Clark motoring down the left. Clark. Well, second time in this half we've seen a potentially promising cross from the left to a vacant right side of the penalty area from Olympic. We've ticked into the last 10 minutes of regulation in this first half. Armson's little volley on, straight to Classic. Classic is trying to use the speed of Mason Wells. He drives it long. The ball just holds up with a bit of backspin. And so Wells holds up as well. Protejna. Switch of flanks. Milicevic shooting from distance, always rising. And sailing out for a goal kick. You can see fans have made their way around behind the right of screen goal. Car park has been absolutely packed since I got here at the start of the 20s earlier today, but maybe some of the fans who are in the bistro have been lured out into the terraces now to watch the action. Of course, plenty of late arrivals have come in for what is always an important game on the calendar when these two teams meet. In the context of today, only serve to ramp it up. Demi, great individual skill, but he's trying to do it all himself, and ultimately United committed numbers to him and won the ball back. Olympic didn't like it. Play continues. Hong. Clark. Clark's pass, a little skinny, and it will run out for a goal kick. Saricic was already far up the pitch on that one, hoping to go running after it, but the pass just never brought him into the equation. Vlasiletsa, Wells. Protejna, quick check over the shoulder. You could see he had numbers over on the right, and Zoricic, a one-man show for Olympics' left side, has come through and won the ball back and now exploded into attack. He finds Feuds. Feuds holds off his marker, fires, and doesn't quite generate the elevation behind the shot. He just scuffed it late, and that made it an easy save for Vedran Janjetovic. A blink of an eye there, Olympic were able to turn what was a 1-on-2 for Zach Zoricic into a shot on goal. And he's stuck here 1-on-2 again. Help coming over in the form of Fong, but not before Bailey Rule gets down to the byline. He's got Milicevic there with him. And a little shallow from Protejna, cleared away. Demi brings the ball down. Seth Clark will run onto it. Parkhouse is going to get forward and try to help him out here. Demi ahead of the ball. Parkhouse, they stand off. Feuds first time! Volleyed away. The follow-up here from Seth Clark. And he drives it straight at Janjetovic. And the shot count is starting to tick over for Sydney Olympic. But Janjetovic, whether diving for the first save or steady when the ball was shot straight at him on the second, has had all the answers so far as we tick up to the 40-minute mark. So a big 5 minutes before the break. Olympic will feel as though if they can just execute here, the equaliser's on for them. Feuds can't slide through Demi. Glassick, Wells trying to spin away. The referee does give a foul against Pecora. Halidi continues the dialogue with the fourth official in the meantime. Milicevic at the edge of the box. Milicic got a toe on the ball, and it's a corner kick. Haven't seen too many set pieces in the game at either end so far. If I'm not mistaken, this is United's first corner. First time we'll see the triple threat of Glassick, McGing, and Vlastelica all make their way down into the attacking penalty area. Mason Wells on delivery. He's going to use the short corner. Protezina back to Wells. And it's straight off Clark. He hit it into the shins. And then Demi with a clumsy challenge that had no hope of a counter-attack. Easy decision for the central referee. So, two-man wall in spite of the extreme distance from goal here. De Oliveira. Straight onto the head of Donachie. Could this suit Olympic here? The counter-attack. Parkhouse slides it for Clark in the middle. Demi breaking, as is Feuds. Feuds takes possession, and he breaks through the left side of the box. The referee saw it all the way. No penalty. Lavino Halidi explodes on the sideline to the fourth official. But no penalty decision forthcoming. You wonder, as Feuds ran himself onto a tougher angle with each step, maybe he was out of options other than to try to lure the defender in. Hong in a tangle here with Protezina, and eventually the whistle goes. Well, the game's really coming to a boil as we approach half-time here. Tensions are really getting high. Are we going to have a penalty area moment of reckoning here right at the end of the half? Either an equaliser or a big chance for United to go 2-0 up. De Oliveira's turn to push over Armstrong. Sets of fans finding their voice. Long diagonal ball. Lunging into the header was Glassick. Feuds. Demi. Feuds. Now, in a half where it's been a question of execution and a matter of sharpening up, Sydney Olympic have had a catalogue of chances, and some of them have been close calls and others have been like that one. How many minutes of stoppage will we get at the end of the first 45? It's been a pretty brisk affair. We've had one break for injury with treatment for Liam McGing, so you'd think we're on for at least 2 minutes at the end of this first half. Ball's headed away from the goal scorer, Luke Zubila. So into stoppage we go. No fourth official's board, or at least not at the 45-minute mark. Looks as though it's going to be hoisted in just a moment. Clark. Misplaced pass. Hong had to grab it, Protejina. No free kick given. De Oliveira might be through here. He plays it on, and the chances. Protejina steadies, and straight at the keeper from Wells. What an opportunity for Sydney United to double their lead. They were almost spoilt for choice. Shoot or pass, and then when it came to pass, options to pass too. Two additional minutes at the end of the first half. That attack breaking while Protejina was attacking. My thanks to executive producer of today's broadcast, Will Constantinidis, for passing on that information. So the referee has decided that 2 was merely a recommendation and has blown the whistle after barely 1. What a first half. Luke Schuviller's goal just before the 20-minute mark, the difference between the two teams. And it means that in this vital game, potentially deciding the top 6 this afternoon, well, as things stand, it will be, because it's Sydney United 1, leading Sydney Olympic 0. We will be back for the second half soon. Hello, hello, hello. This is Teo. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, talking. It's 1-0 at halftime. Up or down? Up. It's 1-0 at halftime to Sydney United in the regular talking voice. This is my regular talking voice, and this is me a little bit more excited. the Sydney United Sports Centre. We're at half-time of this NPL Men's New South Wales match. It is Sydney United 58, leading Sydney Olympic 1-0. And we're about to kick off the second 45. If you've only just joined us, it's Sydney United 58 in the red, attacking the left of your screens in this second half of this all-important clash. As things stand on the table, it will be Sydney United shutting the door to the top six. Olympic can keep themselves mathematically alive if they are able to leave with a draw today, but they would then need a huge favour from St George City against United next weekend. So their best hope is to pull off a come-from-behind win and have destiny in their own hands going into the final weekend where they themselves face Apia at Belmore. So a massive 45 minutes coming up here for the visiting side. It's pretty important for the home team too. Luke Drivilla, the only goal scorer so far, and well, a bit of late after the whistle coming together there between Josh Hong and Mason Wells, but Wells is able to get himself up, and he might need to quickly here because United are on the defensive. Here's the cross from Parkhouse, and the header in for the equaliser. Fuchs' hot streak continues. Olympic are level, and Ryan Fuchs' 8th in 8 brings them level barely a minute 20 into the second half. And that is just the tonic that Olympic needed.
Goal for Olympic, scored by number 19, Ryan Fuchs. Sydney Olympic 1, Sydney United 1.
What a signing Ryan Fuchs has been, the Kiwi, who had some inglorious moments in the first half, including a shot which was closer to the corner flag than the target. Well, he's got his radar honed, and hasn't he come out firing with a great header across Vedran Janjetovic at the start of the second half. And that really puts the game delicately poised now, given what's at stake. United straight back on the attack. De Oliveira dispossessed. Jack Armson dictating from midfield. Fuchs will have a head of steam up now. Fresh off scoring the goal. Can he turn provider? He gives it to Parkhouse, who sweeps it over the bar. So can Sydney Olympic harness the momentum behind them here from having equalised straight out of the rooms? Clavino Halidi has been stressing out on the touchline all game. The normally placid Ante Juric has not broken character at all during the course of today's action. Fuchs, great control of himself, volleying on, Clark helping out. Now Demi is going to have to go chasing his touch to retrieve the ball. Pecora. Parkhouse, one cross on the money already. Hong, ball over the top. Demi, and he's going to find a corner as his little touch there was then shunted out over the byline by Adrian Blasilica. So on the live table, it's United back to 44, Sydney Olympic back to 41. Corner taken short. Parkhouse whips it in. This time the aerial defence is there for United. Milicevic taking on Armson. Bailey Rule. And he wasn't able to bend it in to find Mason Wells. He was hugging the touchline just a little bit too tight. So from the last line of defence, Olympic play out from the back here. Donachie to his goalkeeper and Jack Gibson. Gibson guides it over to the left. Zoricic was sold into a contest. Bailey Rule broke even and the ball spilled kindly. Pratejina, crossfield ball. Wells off the chest. Not able to bring it into his own path. Clark was trying to do something similar, and then Armson with a flying challenge on the diminutive De Oliveira. He's conceded a free kick here. Mid-range. I think too far for a strike on goal, so Pastelica is going to leave it for De Oliveira. So here is Carlos De Oliveira, bending it wide on the right. Vlastelica made ground with a header, but he wasn't able to twist it back into the penalty area. It goes out for a goal kick. Feuds not able to bring it under control, bouncing up off the synthetic there. Vlasic. Straight onto the head of Bosniak. Bosniak with a physical challenge on De Oliveira. Olympic come away with the ball. Demi building a bit of speed as he plays it to Parkhouse. Parkhouse veering in and shooting it straight at the keeper. We saw that quite a few times in the first half. Olympic getting into shooting positions, but then when it came time to strike, shooting it straight at Vedran Janjetovic, who was again behind the ball, down for the collect. Just stretches out his left leg at the edge of the penalty area after making that save. Wells felled in the challenge of Hong. Play continues in the meantime. Tomilic. De Oliveira has got Rule on the outside. Rule bustling forward, crossing it into the near post. He was hoping for Juvilla, and it's been turned behind. I think the central referee and assistant referee may have disagreed there, but central referee pulls rank. It's going to be a corner kick coming up for Mason Wells. So the set piece is just starting to add up now for United. They had to wait until almost right at the end of the first half for their first corner of the game. They've had a couple now. Here's Wells. Whips it into the near post, and it's easily held. An uncontested claim in the end by Gibson. Pecora. And the ball is blocked illegally by De Oliveira. Referee seeing a handball. Olympic still the team that needs to make the running. A draw is a better result for United. It would allow them to keep their destiny in their own hands going into next weekend. Pecora. Clark. Trying to avoid getting his pocket picked by Pratejina, who's done very well to come in and challenge, but ultimately concede the free kick. Donachie. Parkhouse. Cleverly done by Hong. Parkhouse first time ball. Trying to keep it moving. United crowding and able to win possession back through Wells. McGing. Hurriedly plays the pass to Juvilla. Now Demi. Donachie put a foot in. Nothing easy out there at the moment for either team. And Ante Juric catches a glancing blow as the ball is kicked into him over the sideline. clearance means it's an Olympic throw. Demi having a tough time of it sometimes playing as a back-to-goal target man today, especially on the synthetic, judging the bounce. So often the ball is rearing up into him and off him. And ends in another throw-in for Olympic. Clark this time. Pecora out into a bit of breathing room here for Bosniak. Zoricic. We know he's able to drive the team forward, but happy to stay conservative for now. Fuse. Early ball. Zoricic. Now he's picking his moment to get forward. Zach Zoricic. Return ball to Fuchs. Vlasic stopped him in his tracks. Demi spinning into the challenge of Rule, and Bailey Rule with a vital clearance to get it to safety. Oh, Fuchs was nearly in again there. He took on one more sidestep, and Michael Vlasic was able to strip him of the ball. Big first 10 minutes of the second half, yielding an Olympic equaliser. Clark, Parkhouse, Armson, deep in midfield. Here's Clark. Pecora. Fong in between the lines, back to Pecora, and he wins the corner. He seemingly had no intent other than to win a corner there with that first touch, as he took on Liam McGing, successfully so. So you'd say United have the height advantage. Demi can certainly leap, and Samuel Bosniak has got forward here, the number 28. They're all waiting on the left-footed corner of Adam Parkhouse. He drifts it high to the back post, and that's catch in practice for Vedran Janjetovic. The overarm throw out to De Oliveira has United away. De Oliveira, left-footed ball, demanding a run forward from Hayden Milicevic, but it's cleared away from him. Throw into the edge of the box. Shuvela wrapped up by Bosniak, who went with an up and under clearance rather than get any great distance. So the ball's still in a dangerous area for Olympic. Now they clear. Clark legged by Tomalic, and it's going to be a first yellow card for a United player in this game, as Anthony Tomalic joins Cyrus Demi in the referee's book as we approach the hour mark. Donachie. Running his time. Bit of a hospital pass there for Jack Armson. He wasn't able to do much with it. But now he's got the ball back in a second chance. Zoricic puts his head down and sprints forward. Fuchs able to protect the ball as he turned. Parkhouse unable to flick it into the path of Demi. Wells puts a foot on the ball right against the touchline, and then his pass into the middle is deflected, but deflected kindly. Protejina. And away goes Milicevic. He's going to take on both Zoricic and Hong, and Zoricic is going to hold his ground and usher the ball out for a goal kick. Plenty of time being taken over the goal kick here from Jack Gibson, and he drives it flat. Zoricic with a volley into the attacking half. Sydney United coming back in the other direction. Wells Over the ball he roams. Takes on Pecora. Squaring it to his team's advantage. Armson intercepts Clark. Tripped over the top. Parkhouse was always going to be second to the ball, and Glasnowitz is safety first. Double change being readied by Sydney United 58. Patrick Antelmi and Richie Darko are both going to come on here, so fresh legs in attack entering the game, and the goal scorer is one of the players making way, Luke Juvila. His opener.
Coming on to Sydney United, number 9, Patrick Antelmi, and number 12.
The other player coming off appears to be Michael Protezina. So that double change goes through, and Antelmi to lead the line, and Richie Darko into more of a right attacking midfield or right wing position. See how wide he goes in that role. He's guarding territory right here, and there's the new number 9 of Patrick Antelmi coming on as well. Antelmi, second highest scorer in the league for United this season with 5, and Richie Darko, who's had an injury hit campaign in his first season at Sydney United. He has scored just the 1 league goal. Glassick. Fuchs shot on the turn and was straight into the turf first rather than into the air, and that robbed it of a lot of power before it rolled down to Janjetovic, whose clearance here is a little suspect. Parkhouse looping it back into the box, and Glassick saves the day with a solid header to clear. Here's Bailey Rule. And Antelmi, first touch off the bench for him. He's going to switch flanks over to Carlos de Oliveira, who brings it down and looks up at a couple of markers. He twists it back on the reverse. Mason Wells catches the shins of the defender, Donachie. And it did actually skim off Mason Wells on its way back past him. So out for an Olympic throw-in down at right back. United going to have a little spike with the double change, or can Olympic continue their forward momentum as they chase a winner? Here goes Cyrus Demi. He's able to get past Platzalitza, running at Glassick. He dinks it over to Clark, back to Demi, and his touch wasn't there when needed. Oh, his first touch abandoned him at the key time. And his body language reflects the frustration of an attack breaking down. Now in the other direction. Antelmi a quick head check to see where Bosniak was, but the young defender comes through and is able to clear emphatically. Well, that was a really promising break forward there from Sydney Olympic, but maybe he was caught in two minds about whether to shoot from distance or feed it to Seth Clark, and then the return ball, he just couldn't control it. Tomalich. Looping ball under control. Bailey Rule bombing forward. Darko from the right. Left-footed cross comes in and is volleyed away. Clark rising to the header against Tomalich. Really heavy wrestle between Darko and Glassick. They both went to ground. They both bounced back up. Darko is hurt. Demi is hurt. And he's a little ginger as he gets up now. Glassick is hurt. They're both down. Is the referee going to put an end to play? The ball's been booted out by Richie Darko over on the outer side of the pitch. Well, Cyrus Demi was initially holding his knee. He looked the worst of the pair, and then he's been able to roll onto his haunches, and it's Michael Glassick who seems to be the more affected. Cyrus Demi is on his haunches, so he hasn't needed to call the trainer. His initial reaction to how his right leg plugged in the turf, though, looked quite worried. Glassick is now the primary concern here for Sydney United 58. So Glassick able to get up and walk off under his own steam as well. Cyrus Demi wouldn't know that he had a problem now. So thankfully, and for him and for Olympic, he's looking ready to get right back into the action, and seemingly the same for Glassick. So what was initially quite a hefty challenge between the two, who've been in each other's pockets all day. Those two have been wrestling and battling each other non-stop. And they had a big coming together in open play right there. So the politics of who gets the ball back. Armson is going to return it to Vedran Janjetovic. We've played 65 minutes, and it is 1-1 in this vital game that could decide the top six today. As it stands, it won't be. We'll be going to the final round. Clark, Demi. Feeds it out to Parkhouse. Clark. Crossfield ball. Zoricic flies through. Bosniak. Hong down the left. Feuds, good first touch to bring the ball under control. He's got Bailey rule 1-on-1, cuts inside, and now he's stuck in a 1-on-3, so he turns away. Plays the ball back to Zoricic. Josh Hong glides it to the edge of the box. Glassick, he's looking all right again too. The ball is volleyed out. All of the Olympic subs are standing in a line down at the right of screen at the moment, warming up pretty casually at present. Still waiting for their number to be called. United have sent a couple of their other subs to go and warm up. Clark. Armson's pass, quarter deflection. Set up kindly for United to win it back. Mason Wells ran into a pincer, and he got stripped of the ball as a result. Clark, Parkhouse. Demi at the edge of the box, back to goal, and turning blind, straight into a wall of red shirts. Long chain of possession here for Olympic, though. Feuds with a burst of acceleration, building momentum. Feuds got in behind, Armson blocked away, and the defence converges to clear. Shouts for handball. Referee had a good long look, decided against it. Darko volleying into himself. And now the ball's been put out because the shoulder injury, which was afflicting Michael Glassick from that collision with Cyrus Demi earlier, appears to have worsened. And even though he's tried to run it off, now he is really favouring his right arm. And it looks as though the shout has come to the sideline for Gabriel Tilio to be readied as his replacement. So this has become quite serious quite quickly, unfortunately, for Michael Glassick. He bravely tried to run off whatever the injury was, and it didn't appear to be troubling him as much as this. So the change goes through, and on comes Gabriel Tillo. Glassick still cradling his arm inside his jersey, so he's straight down the tunnel into the rooms. And Tillo, the number 22, has come on right back with Liam McGing, a seemingly natural choice to move into the centre of defence. So that's the switch made by Sydney United 58. Here's Mason Wells. Armson doing it all, back in defence, helping out now, and he had his shirt grabbed and he was fouled. And we'll start on the last line of defence with 20 minutes of regulation to go. It's up to Olympic to do the chasing here. They don't want to go into the final day of the season with the requirement of a big, big favour from St George City in their game against Sydney United. McGing flying against Demi. Wells, Tillo, first touch off the bench, and it's able to win a throw-in. De Oliveira, Richie Darko, cuts it back to Carlos De Oliveira. Wells, well, he thought about a first-time shot, and then by the time he had taken a couple of touches and did fire, there were defensive numbers in his way. Tillo has done really well to keep possession. Whips in across, Pecora clears. De Oliveira brings the ball back to ground. Wells out to the right, and he just caught Antelmi a little flat-footed there. Wasn't anticipating that the pass might have been coming. Tillo had his pocket picked by Fuchs. Fuchs with an ambitious cross-field ball, which finds Parkhouse, but then he played it into a 1-on-2, and Seth Clark was lost in between a couple of opponents. Mason Wells is going to shoot, and he was looking for what he's been able to make his trademark, the left-footed finish from the top right corner of the area, but on that occasion, he sent it high and wide. So Olympic still holding fire on their subs. Monty Partington, Thomas Whiffen, Michael Vackas, Bailey Callahan, Harry Peake, and Peter Babonis. The 11 that Lamino Halidi has chosen today have gone 72 minutes, and it looks like they're going further. Restart here. Armson bends it out to Fuchs. Brought it down, but then immediately on his case was Tillo, and a indiscriminate grab of the shirt leads to a free kick. Of some of the seated fans in front of the clubhouse, which drew a few shouts, but nothing more than a foul. Gibson. Bosniak. Moves the ball out to Zoricic. Big deflection on his pass. Tillo has been prominent since coming on. Milicevic. And Telmy. He tried to give Donachie the stutter step, and Donachie wasn't lured in and just stood his ground and bowled Antelmi over. Wells dispossessed by Zoricic down in the corner. Zoricic with a back heel that can't find the necessary touch off an Olympic player, though. Looks like a high boot potentially from Antelmi. The assistant referee is flagging, and it does look as though that foul is going to be paid down in the corner. Donachie plays it back out to Bosniak, and remain trapped down in the corner for now. McGing. De Oliveira trying to use a bit of muscle, but Olympic win the ball at ground level. Zoricic to Clark. Demi. The ball bounced in front of Vlastelica, who then cleared. Parkhouse volleyed it into the body of Tomilic, who then brought it under control. McGing. United enjoying a bit more possession in general play in the last 5 minutes or so. They've been able to hold up a bit of Olympics momentum, and now they're starting to build towards what they would hope is a second goal themselves. Here's Wells, great first touch, and a really good save from Gibson, and then headed into the post by Darko, and the ball is cleared away. One of the saves of the day, and then Richie Darko right next to the post could only find the woodwork. The ball straight down the other end. Fuchs. Olympic held up. Played into midfield. Armson. Oh, his square ball has got Pecora chasing after it. He's able to run it down eventually, but that allows United to take shape in defence behind the ball. Flipped over the top by Armson, intercepted by Vlastelica. And Telmi, tough ball to control. Richie Darko, we've seen him switch over to the left flank now. Here's the return ball. Patrick Antelmi. Well, he went for the first time strike, and it was desperate backtracking from Samuel Bosniak to send the ball behind for a corner. You saw that unfolding from the moment Richie Darko played the pass. Antelmi was loading up for the first time shot, and he's been foiled. Still a couple of big moments. Sydney United 58, getting really close to a second goal, which would make it a monumental task for Olympic to leave today as winners. Here's the resulting corner. Darko. Beyond the far post it goes. Vlastelica, a free header. Punched away by Gibson. Demi. Beaten in the air by De Oliveira. Now it's Demi and Darko head to head. Darko prevails. De Oliveira. Exchange of headers. Wells, Vlastelica, and Antelmi behind Donaghy. Gibson rolls it out. Seth Clark. Twisting through the midfield and calming things down. Well, Olympic, they've survived two big chances here for Sydney United 58, and the scoreline remains 1-1. If they go on to win today, they will have Jack Gibson to thank for his save. Bosniak, Fuchs, leaves the ball with Zoricic. He cuts it inside for Armson. Now Seth Clark. He sees Parkhouse at the edge of the box. Parkhouse, Pecora, corner kick. And well played by De Oliveira, tracking the run every step of the way. But you hear a wave of applause coming from the visiting fans. They liked that build up there from Olympic. Parkhouse to take the corner. Bending to the back post. First headed Tomalic. Fuchs follows up, nodded to the line and held onto by Janjetovic. It was Josh Fong who was just trying to cushion a header and place it. And Janjetovic was able to react and leap onto the ball. Back pass, dangerous. Out comes Gibson, feet first. And he's hurt himself as he clears. His left ankle, which is the problem here. He came out feet first to clear the ball away from Antelmi. He was really sold into trouble by a shallow back pass. Watching back on the stream, it was really more just his left ankle underneath his body weight rather than contact, which has caused this problem. Are they going to have to make a sub? This could be a twist that Olympic definitely do not want to have to counter. Monty Partington has not even got the gloves on yet. He's just standing hands on hips on the sideline. The backup goalkeeper for Sydney Olympic. So the trainer's out, and this is going to add to stoppage. It's going to be a grand finish, this one. You get the feeling that the scoring might not be done. It's just a question of which end the goal comes at.
Progress score from other grounds, Rockdale 0, Manly 0. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to come up to the Kickoff Club after the game, speak to other lasses up there and party on. Thank you.
You might have heard the ground announcer there. This game has managed to fall even further behind the game over at Linden, which is in the 89th minute. It's a full 10 minutes ahead of this one. And it's about to finish in a stalemate between Rockdale and Manly United unless there's a late goal. So Rockdale's really off the boil form heading into finals. Looks set to continue, but they're in finals. They've got their ticket. These two teams, they don't have their ticket punched just yet. Treatment has been administered, and so there is a watch on Jack Gibson. How spring-heeled is he after treatment to his ankle? Play is back live, and Sydney United 58 trying to capitalise on a potentially wounded Olympic keeper. Here's Cyrus Demi. He's grabbed around the waist and he is able to shrug the challenge and find top speed. And now he's scythed down by Vlastelica and he picks up a yellow card as a result. Well, he was fouled twice in the same phase of play there, Cyrus Demi. And the second foul was designed to stop him in his tracks. Shot is... the free kick is probably a bit too far from shooting range here. It would take a super boot to be able to trouble the keeper from here. So we've ticked into the final 10 minutes with the scoreline 1-1. There is going to be two in the wall here, so Vedran Janjetovic just on guard for the potential of a long shot here from Adam Parkhouse, or it looks as though it'll be Jack Armstrong who's pulled rank. Armstrong is just going to drop it in the box. Brought down by Bosniak and cleared away by Tomlic. Volleyed back into the fray and headed clear by McGing. Two Olympic players in each other's way. Demi wins the initial header and De Oliveira was taken out midair. He was tunnelled by Bosniak and here's the resulting free kick taken very quickly. Clever by Vlastelica, but too clever for Milicevic, who was not able to sprint onto it out on the right touchline. And incredibly, Olympic is still yet to turn to their bench at the 82-minute mark. So the starters continue to search for the go-ahead goal, which would put them into 6th place on the live table, currently occupied by Sydney United. Tillo. Mason Wells. An ambitious pass, which will find Donachie instead of De Oliveira. Around the corner of the clearance. Tillo up for the header. Wells has protected the ball. Struck it to the edge of the box where it's brought down by Pecora. A bending pass off the ankle of Tomilic. It's going to find its way to Richie Darko. And he can motor after the ball here. Darko from the wing. Cut it inside. He was looking for Bailey Rule. Couldn't link up. Parkhouse off the chest. Armson. Demi, wide on the right. Cyrus Demi. Here's the return ball. It sits up kindly. Parkhouse. He has to take it away from the penalty area. Just for a second there, it looked like he might have been able to play himself through on goal, but the touch took him away from the target rather than towards. It might be end-to-end stuff here at the end of the afternoon. It might be haymakers from both teams looking for a knockout punch. Here's Fong. He wins the ball back off Wells. Demi breaking ahead of the ball. He nearly ran offside, and so the passes remain short and in midfield in the meantime. Zoricic bowled over. Throw-in going Olympics way. There's going to be another change here for Sydney United. Benjamin Cito is coming on. The number 24. And it looks as though Mason Wells has been summoned from all the way over on the opposite side of the pitch to run across and take his leave.
For Sydney United, coming on is number 24, Benjamin Cito, replacing 23, Mason Wells.
So Wells, who's come close to scoring what could have been a potential match winner for Sydney United 58 in this game, is off, and with 6 minutes of regulation to go, Benjamin Cito is subbed on. Olympic continue to search for a winner. Armson popped over the top. Zoricic marauding forward, but can't take the ball in his path, and he left an outstretched right leg, which has tripped over Carlos de Oliveira. High ball. Fong wins the header. Demi dipping back into midfield to help out. Armson holding off Milicevic. Pecora. Parkhouse. Oh, nearly to himself. Instead, it's a throw in. Last touch off Bailey Rule. And with some of the defensive switching since Michael Vlasic came off, Bailey Rule has gone to left back rather than right back. Armson went to ground. Play continues. Donachie gets across ahead of Darko. Back to Gibson. He seems all right since his treatment. High ball. Headed away by Tomilic into the last 5 minutes. There's real tension within the ground at the moment. This 1-1 scoreline. It is advantage Sydney United 58 as things stand. It is an advantage that is still dependent on next weekend's games. And Telmi gives away the free kick. And for the first time really today, we've seen Ante Juric, arms outstretched, imploring the referee over a decision. Josh Hong is getting a cramp treated here. He's got through a lot of work today. And he gets back to his feet, ready to go. Bosniak. Fuchs. Isolated against Tillo. And Tillo got a touch on the ball and concedes a corner. In the 87th minute, maybe the 88th minute by the time the corner is taken. It's not quite time for the keeper to come up, but plenty of numbers coming forward for Olympic. They've left 2 back covering, whereas all 11 United players are in the defensive penalty area here under Jack Armson's corner. In it comes. And it takes a touch off Hong last, I suspect. Vlastelica was there, but I think it's Josh Hong who got the last touch. And it's out for a goal kick. Vedran Janjetovic taking plenty of time over the restart. Labano Haliti still encouraging his team forward to win the ball, but right now it's going United's way. Darko's come off the bench to good effect, and he's going to take possession here. Is it time to go to the corner yet? Not quite. United want to win this game. They don't just want to draw. And they've got a corner kick. So Richie Darko effective again into the last 2 minutes now. How many numbers are United leaving back for the counter-attack, though? 4 covering here. A packed 6-yard box, mainly full of Olympic players. As the ball goes in, players falling over each other. Tomilic will chase it out to the touchline. Can he put it on the money? And tell me, a lone target in the box. It's over his head. Seth Clark heads away. And now the volley back in over the bar. It was dipping late, but not late enough. For Aiden Milicevic there. Goal kick taken short. Donachie drops it at the halfway line. Demi brings it down. Cyrus Demi. Seth Clark. And now Armson out to the left side. Zach Zoricic. Fuchs. Clark. Very crowded at the edge of the box. No one over in the space on the right either. It's either the left or the middle. So in these tight spaces, who can find the right opening? Hong wrapped his foot around the ball to stop it going out for a goal kick, but only offered it up to De Oliveira to take it away. He drives it forward, and Telmi's often chasing. And the speed of Bosniak gets back, and he tackles it out for a throw-in. And that is just about going to take us into stoppage here at the end of the 90. Can Olympic create one more big chance here? Right now, Sydney United 58 have had the answers. They've had the resilience. And they have the ball down the right end as far as they're concerned as we tick into stoppage time. And tell me a quick 1-2. The ball behind for a corner. 5 additional minutes, of which we've had 20 seconds. And it's a corner to Sydney United 58.
Put up 5 minutes of injury time.
A goal here, and it's United into the finals. And the top 6 secure. Can they produce? Under the corner of Richie Darko. In it swings, and Telby's header. Well, that was a chance, and a good one at that. I think the referee's having a word to the trainer and the ball kid behind the goal, but that's been sorted out. We've had almost 1 of 5 additional minutes ticked by, and now it's over to Olympic. What can they produce? Can they swing the balance back in their favour going into the final round? Ball bounces on. Cyrus Demi and Seth Clark combine. Pecora off and running. He's able to shrug a couple of opponents. Parkhouse. Does he want his left foot? He does. He twists back. Clark. And now Parkhouse in a bit of space. He does wheel around onto his left. He bends it towards Fuchs. And Tillo did very well jumping in a 50-50 in the air. And the ball is run on and out. And in the opening minute of the half, that's where Fuchs got up and scored the headed goal. But on that occasion, very nicely done from Gabriel Tillo to be able to break even in that contest and watch the ball out for a goal kick. And that now means 2 of 5 additional minutes is ticked by. De Oliveira going up for a header. Hong is still really suffering from cramp. He's on one leg at the moment. De Oliveira keeps things moving. Richie Darko, edge of the box, lays it off. Milicevic over the bar. It just kept rising. And they've had a couple of chances now, Sydney United 58, to score the match-winning goal. And tell me, with his head and Milicevic with his feet in quick succession, as a couple of firecrackers go off down at the other end of the ground. And amid the noise and the tension of the dying stages, forward comes Sydney United 58 again. Bouncing ball. Darko brings it under his control. Edge of the box. Richie Darko twists around and he's dispossessed by a good challenge by Luca Pecora. And now Pecora from right back. Cyrus Demi. 2 opponents to deal with. This has been the case often today. And the numbers win out for Sydney United. Switching flanks is Cito over to De Oliveira. And tell me, De Oliveira, Milicevic, 2 players collide. De Oliveira thought he was fouled. Bailey Roll! Bailey Roll strikes it through the traffic! And it looks like a stoppage time winner for Sydney United 58! It has come in the 94th minute, and Bailey Roll might have struck Sydney United into finals. Well, he moved over to left back with the injury to Michael Vlasic. And it meant he was in exactly the right spot to strike that ball. And now Olympic, they need to save their season. They've got less than a minute to play with. An equaliser would at least keep them alive into next weekend. Parkhouse lifts in the cross. It lands on the roof of the net. McGinn goes down with cramp. The referee's seen enough. Sydney United 58 win it at the death. Bailey Rule with one of the best goals he'll ever score. Both the strike and the context, massive. And it means your top 6 is sorted in NPL Men's New South Wales for 2025. What a finish here at the Sydney United Sports Centre. The full-time score, Sydney United 2, Sydney Olympic 1. I've been Teo Pellizzeri.